This just in. Thank you for joining us here at Watching It All. And we had a couple things to cover with you guys. Things that have happened to us recently, things that have happened in the world that we just wanted to share. And let's not waste any time. Let's start off with the first thing that happened to us. It's kind of a story. YouTube, Amazon gave us a copyright strike on our channel. That was nice. So here's the story. What happened was our video of the boys went up last week. Excuse me. Video of the boys went up last week.
Season 2.
And I was alone here filming it. It was pretty amateur actually. I just set up the camera and put it on the screen and just kind of did a little dance to it. And I don't know, they gave us a copyright strike within the first 4 hours of it being up, and I didn't understand why. I reacted to it just fine. It was a 2-minute and 5-second video. Didn't see the problem with it. So that pisses me off. I don't know exactly what happened there, but it continues. Then the video's down for the entirety of the weekend. I was mad. I was just trying to do other things. A lot of things happened. That's why we wanted to make this video, just to address everything. And at the end of the weekend, by Monday, it's back up. And for no reason whatsoever, no explanation. Even when we had the copyright strike on our page, they didn't even explain as to why. We had the information up. No explanation. It's odd. It's very odd. I don't understand why. They didn't even have a reason. So I was like, well, you know, maybe finally someone at YouTube is getting their shit together, but that's what's bringing me to this. I don't understand what's going on. Amazon, get your shit together. Like, this can't be happening. You gotta actually watch the video. I was praising it. I was liking it. Maybe because it was published right away. I think the trailer for The Boys Season 2 was released within 38 minutes. And when I saw it, I was like, well, I got to review it. And maybe because I was one of the earlier reviews, and maybe that's why they really got me. And that's a good example of them just kind of vulturing. These companies just kind of vulturing after small pages. My conspiracy kind of theory on this, ladies and gentlemen, is that they're keeping the small pages down and the bigger pages up, of course. Are your ninjas, your PewDiePies, your Lillipons. I'm just playing around, people. I really am. I want to vent a little bit. It's just very frustrating to have this copyright strike on our page, and very I don't know. I want to describe it as like, you know, when you have a friend for such a long time. I've known YouTube since 2007. Since its very first started, we were just watching stupid little videos, and then you go from that to just it being all this corporate, you know, just wannabe, you know, oh, let's just show off all we got to the world, and it's just not working for me. It's more than that, people. It's more. Wouldn't you agree with me, Hannah?
Mm-hmm.
Hannah's in the camera right now, operating, of course.
Hello.
Lots to talk about. I'm sorry if I'm rambling on and stuff. A lot of this can be cut out, right? No, all in all, we got a copyright strike from them. They took it away because they knew there was no copyright there. It was faulty. It was crap. This is really ridiculous. I was actually really looking forward to The Boys, and now I'm just like, you know what, screw them and stuff. But maybe that's just me being rebellious and stuff and just angry, but I'll get over it.
No, you're not.
Cover that. Check. Let's see what else we got. We got K-Pop Cancels H3. Oh, man. Okay, so with K-Pop, I do not want to badmouth anything about K-Pop. I want to speak clearly on this. I just feel that if you're a fan of something, you can be a fan of anything. You can obsess over anything. Characters, you know, stories, anything you want. But when you take it to a level where now you're offending people, it's like, oh, you know, you don't like this because you don't understand this, or you're racist against this, or culture, or anything like that, then there's just a lack of understanding of what you like, I believe, also, in that. I don't think H3 really meant to say anything wrong against the Korean culture. They just, were saying an offhand comment on how they didn't understand, or Ethan didn't understand how K-pop has become so popular, how it's become this worldwide phenomenon, and if you even say anything bad about it, it's, oh my god, it's blown out of proportion. There's trending tweets and stuff like that.
We talked jokingly about K-pop for what can probably only have been about 10 seconds.
Trending tweets and stuff like that with, death threats against Ethan and stuff because he hates K-pop, and he's spoke about them. He did say a couple backhand comments and stuff that he shouldn't have said, but all in all, I think that if you're a fan of something, you have to understand there's gonna be haters. There's gonna be people that do not agree, that do not want anything to do with said trend and everything, and you gotta accept criticism. Criticism's always gonna be there when it comes to anything you like. I mean, you can like anime, anything like that. You can like action movies. You can like romance novels. And no one's gonna judge you for those things because those are the things you like. You know what I'm saying? But there are gonna be people that are gonna come in and try to be like, well, this is better, or this is the way this is, or I don't understand it. And I believe in this case, just Ethan didn't understand it, and he just kind of said things out of hand. And I don't know, why not look at it from that way, instead of like, oh, he's racist against Koreans. I mean, his wife's foreign, it's not fair. I'm foreign myself. Yo hablo español. My mom is Colombian. So I was born here in the United States. So I mean, I'm not trying to say anything bad about them. I don't understand it myself. It's just a very confusing subject, I believe. It's something it feels like, how do I explain this? Like the opening of an anime, I think it's supposed to make you feel good, I believe. That's what I've kind of been getting out of it. If people like it this much, it's because it's a brand of music that makes them feel good, energized.
Unbelievable!
I feel like a lot of people's connection to these things really needs to kind of be at a lower, because like you're always gonna get people coming at you and stuff. So for you to have these, oh man, if anybody insults this, I'm gonna kill him. Like those kind of feelings should just kind of just breathe. It's okay to like things, but it's okay to also, take a breather sometimes. And that's going to lead me into Star Wars. But last thoughts on H3, I just think people should not blow things out of proportion. Ethan didn't mean the things he said, he just doesn't understand it. I don't understand it much either, but hey, it is what it is. Just don't blow it out of proportion. All right, moving on to some movie news here. It leads me into the Star Wars fandom, because next week we have Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Hits theaters December 20th, December 19th, Thursday, obviously preview night. And I feel that a lot of fans are going to go to the theater and are just going to get ready to just trash this movie. Just because of the last one, and just because of the elements they're adding here. If you've seen the trailers, if you've seen the previews and things like that, you're going to see that Sidious is back in play. He's apparently the puppet master behind everything, and it's going to probably be explained. There's probably going to be some sort of connection within this new trilogy. I feel that a lot of people are expecting a lot out of this series. It's the most blown out of proportion series on this planet. I don't understand why it's such a... I mean, it is an important tale, but it's been told for so long, I guess, that's why people are so attached to it. And I think the fan base itself has evolved into this kind of organism that if you create a Star Wars entity or anything or show or whatever, they're going to love it. Or they're going to try to like support it in some way. There's always going to be some sort of fan base. If you notice, there's a fan base for every Star Wars property, no matter what it is. Whether it's the Clone Wars or whether it's the Mandalorian right now. You have everybody kind of go into their groups. That's what I also think is going to happen in the future with like apps. I'm like, oh, you're with the Disney Plus app, you're over here. You're with the Netflix app, you're over here. Everything's going to be kind of like in groups, which is already what's happening anyway. But it's going to be more of that in the future, especially with more and more apps coming out right now and stuff. More and more platforms coming out with their own application systems. But yeah, back to Star Wars. It's very confusing why these fans are just expecting so much out of this series, because they want to keep pushing it and keep pushing it, but there's nothing to keep pushing. You know, Star Wars is over. The Luke Skywalker saga has pretty much been told. No! You know what I'm saying? Darth Vader rose to power, and you know, he's dead. And the only way is to do a prequel or do kind of a sequel thing to it. Or have little attachment stories within them, like Rogue One or Solo. And that's great and all, but people have always been saying you should take it beyond, have more intimate stories that are beyond the Skywalker saga. Explore other characters that are beyond it, explore new characters. Mandalorian's kind of doing that, but it's still trying to tie into the original story. And I don't know exactly where it's going to go, especially with Disney's direction. I have my mixed feelings on the Disney direction as far as the new trilogy and things like that. Mandalorian I'm going to get into in a minute. But I really think that if you're going to go into this movie next week, just have your expectations at a low. Just know that it's not the end of the world if they don't utilize Sidious or Lando Calrissian in the right way that you want them to, because they're in the movie. Excuse me.
Is that your dark side?
Yeah, that was my dark side here talking, because I know a lot of fans of Star Wars are going to disagree with what I'm saying here. And I do agree. Star Wars is great. Little baby Yoda is cute and all. And we'll get into the Mandalorian here in a second, but hold on. I do want to say, if you're going to go into the Rise of Skywalker with negativity or anything like that, which I understand, like with Rian Johnson and with the story, I don't agree with too much, because whether you want to say, oh no, he did this and that, the way he shifted the story, it's kind of like, well, where is he going to go from here? Especially you've seen Last Jedi, a lot of the elements are kind of left like, and you know, now it has to kind of explain this one, Rise of Skywalker, in order to kind of patch things up that Last Jedi did. So that's going to be something right there. And a lot of fans are going to be looking for those, like, well, how did they fix that? Or you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, it's very difficult to get into the mind of Star Wars fans. It's exactly what they want. Because I know it's been said before, the toughest fans to please are Star Wars fans. You know, it's fans of Star Wars hate Star Wars so much. They're the ones who hate Star Wars the most. Oh man, it's so hard to kind of like this franchise, but I love it so much. I do want to keep supporting it, but I don't know. I think you just have to keep your expectations low. So that's where I'll keep that at with the Star Wars fans. Check on that. All right. You gotta move the...
Sorry.
All right. Now let's get into a couple of things that we've been watching lately. Coming from our Star Wars conversation here, we're going to go into The Mandalorian. We've actually watched all of them, 1 through 5 so far on Disney Plus. Pretty good show so far, but I don't know where it's going. And I know a lot of people are saying that too, like, oh man, we don't know. But I don't exactly know what its purpose is within the Star Wars universe, especially with little baby Yoda here. I know this isn't baby Yoda, this is regular Yoda, but hey, that's all we got.
We didn't me cuteness aggression.
Yes, Hannah had cuteness aggression. It's worth a Google, guys. Please look it up. It's a real thing. and it can cause you to just go insane over anything that's cute. And in this case, it's Baby Yoda. And Baby Yoda is cute, but I feel like the series has kind of come to a bit of a halt because of Baby Yoda, and I feel like the writers are going to have a tough time kind of proceeding it forward. Couple spoilers here for Mandalorian, if I do say any, just giving you guys a warning if I do say anything from this point on. I feel like Baby Yoda, his journey is with the Mandalorian right now, just trying to look for a home, and they keep failing to find a home. And I don't know when the story is going to come to its head, who's going to actually come up against the Mandalorian that's going to be a threat. No real threat has come. Even they had this crazy battle in one of the episodes that came out of nowhere in a way, but that's because he was trying to protect the village people that were there. But that led to nothing. He had to move on because they had found him on that planet as well. And then when he moved on to the other planet, there was another kind of mission there. So it's kind of going like from planet to planet, mission to mission, which is pretty cool. But I'm trying to see when's Bill Burr gonna come in there. I kind of want to see those elements kind of come into. They seem interesting, I want to see how they're gonna come into play and affect the world of the Mandalorian here. But Baby Yoda, his fate is also up for grabs too. Who knows what's going to happen to him? He could either end up in a place where he can finally be okay and be away from harm from the Empire, the First Order, whatever, Sidious himself, or they can kill him off. Sorry if it happens, but I mean, this is supposed to be between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, so if it happens, I'm sorry to all the Baby Yoda fans. I'm really sorry if it does happen. Sorry, Hannah, but if it happens, it happens. Moving on the Mandalorian, it's a okay show, but I feel like it's kind of having a lot of filler episodes at the moment, so we'll have to see. 3 more episodes, one after Christmas, and that will be the last one. So I hope maybe we'll even do a final episode viewing of that. That'd be kind of cool. All right, let's move along with Marvel TV got canceled. I got not much to say on that. It's just kind of knew that was gonna happen. To kind of think that Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, all these characters from the Netflix shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Runaways from Hulu and stuff, they were all going to meet up with Thor and the Guardians or something and Iron Man. It's not going to happen. So unfortunately, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure they're going to do something on Disney Plus. They're already starting up their shows there, like She-Hulk and WandaVision. Hawkeye's going to get a show on there, Loki. So I'm pretty sure that's kind of like the new Marvel TV, Disney Plus. So I'm sorry, at least the only thing I can say about the Marvel TV shows is that they at least gave Daredevil, his time to shine, other than the 2003 monstrosity that it was, even though that's kind of a guilty pleasure, the Ben Affleck movie, but I don't know. Wake me up! Alright, so that's Marvel TV right there for you. A review of The Irishman. We watched that on Netflix, directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Al Pacino, and amongst others, Ray Romano. Probably going to get some hate for this, but again, people, it's our opinion. It's just what we think, just what we believe. It's nothing against you guys if you enjoyed the movie, but we had a difficult time with the movie, and not because of its 3.5-hour runtime or anything like that. It's because of the story. The story revolves around Robert De Niro as Frank Sheeran, who is telling you the story from a retirement home. Then there's also a story within the story, which is a road trip with Joe Pesci in the 70s, and then the main story, which is him kind of building his career and getting into the mob and eventually meeting Jimmy Hoffa. If you don't know who Jimmy Hoffa is, he actually built the unions back in the day, and he was a Teamster as well. And he was just a big workman, bringing work to the country. but things got out of hand, obviously, and something happened. We don't know. We don't know what happened. What happened? Did he get whacked? Did he get killed? No, he just disappeared. Like that scene from American Psycho.
People just disappear.
The earth just opens up and swallows them.
Eerie. Really eerie.
Yeah. So, what's this movie got to bring to the table? Nothing. Unfortunately, like I really hate to say that, and especially with such a director as Martin Scorsese. But that's not what this review is about. It's about The Irishman itself, just the movie, and the story. It wasn't there. There was really no story. And then you get kind of this weird world building with all these mobsters and things like that. With Joe Pesci's really good. I mean, everything's fine in the movie except it doesn't lead to anything. All the acting is fantastic. The cinematography, incredible. I love, and I was telling this to Hannah as we were watching it, I love that there's still a director out there that has an eye and vision for these kind of films. And, I give that to Scorsese. This is a beautiful film. For a director to get the feel of that time era, it's still in this day is breathtaking and things like that. Take Quentin Tarantino also this year with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. How do these guys do it? How do they still have this time period in their head, and how can they, portray it on film and paper? It's incredible. So I give them credit for that. Everything is fine on paper. The Irishman is actually really good on paper. In fact, if you read the Jimmy Hoffa story and, the history and everything about this man, it's more interesting, and in a way it'll help you watch this movie. Maybe if you do that, I think it'll help you. But I did do that, and I don't know. It's just, I have a lot of mixed feelings on this one, The Irishman. I feel like they could have done a little more with it. It's already kind of seen as a myth and this kind of, crazy story as like what happened to him. Even back in the day, they had, what happened to Jimmy Hoffa, the hotline stickers. That's crazy. I've always found that fascinating, like Amelia Earhart kind of shit. Like, that's incredible. So, yeah, that's great on its own, but like when you execute it on film, or the way Scorsese did anyway, it just didn't work, and there was nothing interesting about it. I would say what's funny is that I was watching other reviews the other day, just some random reviews, has nothing to do with The Irishman or anything, but I was just watching reviews, and all of a sudden I stumbled upon Jeremy's Drive review. Watch that one, and the way he feels about Drive is the way I feel about The Irishman.
When people defend this movie, I cannot argue their points. I can't say that they're totally wrong, because they say the movie's well filmed, and it is well filmed, and well acted. It's well acted. Everyone's a good actor in this movie. There's like no weak link. But it doesn't change the fact that I found the movie to be really boring, at least for half of it. The exciting shit it shows in the trailer, that's the halfway mark on.
It's kind of a missed opportunity, I believe. I think they could have done way more with it. I do appreciate that Robert De Niro is back, and Joe Pesci, absolutely, and Al Pacino, but they're just not really given that much to do in a movie that really has not much going for it anyway. So everything on paper is good, the execution's not. Also, the CGI, the face restoration, the Snapchat filter on their faces, oh my god. Oh, that was so bad. I don't care if a lot of people are saying, oh, I got used to it after a while. Like, no, man, you don't get used to it. You see that for, like, De Niro with his puppy dog eyes and...
These shoes? Hey, on these shoes?
Yeah, it's so noticeable, and, oh man, it was just crazy. 2 out of 5 on The Irishman. Alright, and last here we have Juice WRLD. He passed away a couple days ago. He's a famous rapper. To be honest with you, I didn't know too much about him. What I did know was the song that he had last year in the 2018 film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The song's called Hide.
You help me face my demons, I won't hide.
Really good song. I also know Lucid Dreams.
I have these lucid dreams where I can't move a thing.
Other than that, I'm gonna get into more of his stuff now that I know more about him, and obviously this tragedy and stuff, but it's really sucky the way he went. It involved Not going to get into detail, but it did involve illegal activities, illegal practices and things like that. And that's, I don't really understand why he was so young. It just goes to show, guys, just don't get into the dark side of the music business. Don't get into illegal activities or anything like that. It's not going to lead you to anything good. So my condolences to Juice WRLD's family, to his friends, to his loved ones, to all his fans around the world. I hope he rests in peace, and keep listening to his music. I'm going to definitely get into it. We're definitely going to do that, and we're also getting some projects ready on our own here for our channel. We want to get back into more steady video making on here. It's just been very difficult, especially with copyrights and bunch of bullshit from YouTube and other companies and stuff that are giving us faulty claims, a strike, and then taking a video away and then putting it back, and then it loses view value and all that kind of stuff. It's disenchanting. It's heartbreaking. It sucks. YouTube, come on, we're friends. We love you. We really do. The content on here I've been watching for so long. There are videos that are fucking piss old and I still watch them, man. Come on, don't do this to me, man. I'm tired. I'm done.
Would you like a cat?
Sure, put him on the table. But yeah, that's all we gotta say here, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning into this update slash, what's going on in the world report, what we think on it and stuff. Just our opinions, like always. We're entitled to have them. You are as well. So yeah, that's it from your friends here at Watching It All. Watching all the par blarts with heavy bellies full of farts. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.